This is a quick video for a couple of students who requested it on the subject of getting files, particularly HTML files and a website, onto a web server. So we start with this diagram. What we've got here is the internet. It actually looks like that. And we've got a computer here. Maybe we're working on this computer here and we want to get our files on this web server over here so all of the other devices can access those files and see their web pages. Web pages are just a bunch of files. There's nothing magic in there. You don't have to do anything special to it. You might have some programming in there that makes it slightly more complicated, but we'll deal with that another time. So I need to get my files from this computer here over the internet onto my web server. So I've got to have a user account on the web server, and I've also got to be able to have some way of transferring the files. Most commonly, this is done by a mechanism called FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Now, you could do this in Windows. You could just get up a Windows Explorer window and you could put in the top here FTP, and you could, for example, put in an IP address like this to your server, and it will ask you probably for a username and password. I've logged on to this one before, and you can see here is my remote server. So in this way you can just drag and drop HTML files and all your images just as you do normally in Windows Explorer. If you're using a program like Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver comes with this functionality built right into it. So here I've got my site. You must have it set up within a site definition. If you've not done that already, you'll need to go to Site, New Site, and set up a site definition. The way to tell if you've done this is this folder here should be green. If it's green, it means it's set up properly in a site definition. Otherwise, you'll need to set it up. So if we do Site, New Site, and it will just ask you some details about the site, and you can set it up. I'm going to manage sites because this one's already set up, and I'm going to take this site, which I made for my Year 9s, all about restaurants, and I am going to change this site. So I click on the little edit pencil there, and what we'll see is you get things like what's the name of the site and where is it located. One of the things you'll get is the servers screen, and here is where you add in your web server. So you say add new server, and up will come a box, and you can give it a name and you tell it how to connect. So your web host will have given you these details. It quite possibly will be FTP, and you'll have to put in, maybe change the port, put in the FTP address you've been given, your username and password. Your root directory is where you're going to actually store your website on your server. So it might be public_HTML, or it might be www. It depends on your server. You'll have to have a poke around. And this is the site where you're actually going to have your website hosted to the domain name. So for example, google.com. Of course you're not Google, so you won't have google.com, but so it might be mynewsite.com. If you have problems, there's lots of other little things you can try in here. I won't go into those in too much detail. Once you've set up the server, it will appear here. And you save that. I'm going to click cancel because I'm not going to modify that, and done. And to put a local copy of your website onto the server, once you've got it all set up properly, you simply click this button to put the files to the remote server. So you'd have to click on the files you want, like that, and say put them up to the local server. In that way, it will copy it across the internet, and then you should be able to browse to the actual site. I hope that helps and it's clear enough, guys. If not, you know where the comments section is. Let me know.